I am about to leave for a 6-month long road trip across Canada, and I can only take so many things with me, which meant I had to sit down and look at my entire stationery collection and ask myself a very uncomfortable question. What do I actually use, and what am I just keeping because I feel guilty about how much I spent on it? And the answer was humbling. I have regrets, several of them were expensive, and I also realized how much Helen from the Coffee Monsters Co. influences my stationery choices. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with the journal regret. And mine is the Hobonichi cousin. This one, as many things in my life, started with Helen. I went down a full Hobonichi rabbit hole early last year because she made it look so good. And this system works amazingly for her. The paper is Tomoe River, which if you know, you know. It has this gorgeous slide ghosting and this crinkly old school feeling that I genuinely love. It also handles fountain pens like a dream. And even the sound of the pages, I'm just so in love. But here is what I completely fail to understand. Helen's life is really structured. She has a whole system in her Hobonichi. But for me, that is not true. I can't really plan and time block out my day because that is not how I work and how I live my life personally. Some days I'm jumping between emails. Some days I'm editing videos for clients or for myself. And some days I work from 3 different cafes. I am productive, but not in this structured in a Hobonichi type of a way, if you know what I mean. So these weekly spreads were just not working for me at all. And as you can see, I really tried for so many months. But at some point, I just gave up. The daily pages were working for me quite well in the beginning, but then I have just fallen off completely. Because these daily pages really just punish you whenever you have to skip a day. There started to be these gaping holes in my journal, and at one point, again, I just gave up. And the issue is that there were other days where I would have loved to journal more than just a page, but I didn't have the space for it. And honestly, one of the worst things about the Hobonichi is how much you have to prepare yourself to even just get one. Because whenever October or even September rolls around, you have to be ready to purchase your journals. And you have to fight for them. And I am not doing that. For example, this journal I got for almost $100 because it was sold out everywhere and I just really wanted to try it. But I'm not doing that. I'm not going to fight for a journal in October just to get one. And yeah, I'm also not paying extra just to get it. And again, I love the paper. I love the concept of it. I even love the little quotes at the end of each page. But it didn't really work for me as I want it to be. I kind of used the monthly pages, hated the weeklies, and the dailies were just not what I need in my daily journal. Maybe if I would only do memory keeping in my cousin, maybe, but then again, the weekly setups are really unusable for me. But here is what I learned from this. The Hobonichi system is genuinely good. The paper is genuinely amazing. But the daily journal pages only work for you if your life is consistent enough to match it. Like if you can journal every day and fill just one page, this will work perfectly for you. But my life isn't like that. I like to journal a lot some days, and I also skip some days, so this system is just not working for me. I would rather use a few slim, lighter notebooks in a year for my journaling than to have this massive, huge notebook with me that doesn't even match how I like to journal. So essentially, this Hobonichi system is just not right for me. Which brings me to my next regret, and this one is also partially Helen's fault. Are we noticing a pattern here? I am really, really influenced by her. These are my brush pen regrets. Yes, the Tombow Dual brush pens, everybody's favorite. My love-hate relationship with these pens actually started back in 2019, 2020, whenever I was in my bullet journaling era. And back then, everybody and their mother was using these pens. I swear to you, every single creator used these to set up their journals. And I had some serious FOMO, guys. So back then I picked up a few colors and tried them out. And I did use them. I even used up some colors. but they were never that special to me. So earlier this year, Helen from the Coffee Master School posted a video about all of her favorite colors from the Tombow brush pens. And I thought that, okay, maybe I just need a few more colors and then I will love them. So I got a bunch of the colors she recommended because I just wanted to understand why everybody else loved these pens so much and why can't I? Honestly, I didn't really use them since, so I forced myself to use them this week just to test them out. And guys, I still don't like them. They are too long for all of my pen cases. They are a bit too wet to layer in a sketch in my journals, so I can't really do my daily sketching with them. And I just find them inconvenient. And yes, the colors are truly amazing. I mean, just look at this. And we have the pen side. But still, I just find them sitting somewhere in my stationery collection and just never getting used. And they are not bad products. They are really nice pens. I just really don't like them and really don't have a use for them. So before we leave for our road trip, I'm really thinking about selling these or gifting them away. I might give them a last chance because I got really into colored pencils and sketching with them. And I saw a bunch of people using markers as the base for their pencil sketches, colored pencil sketches. So maybe I will like them for that. But again, I'm not so sure if I want to lug them around across Canada and some parts of the US for 6 months. Then I don't like them that much. So I really don't know because I know other people love them, like truly love them. And I just don't understand why can't I? So please let me know in the comments what I should do. Like, should I try them for colored pencil sketches or should I just let them go? I'm not sure if I can sell them. Like, who would buy these, although they are just a few months old? I paid so much money for them, so I don't want to just give them away because I got them like 4 months ago, but I'm not sure. Anyways, let me know in the comments what I should do with these. And honestly, I want to mention these as well. These are the Zig Art Duo brush pens. And I actually like these more. Yes, they are still the same length, so carrying them is a hassle. But I like the colors maybe a little bit more. And I also like the brush part better because it's a bit bigger. It behaves much more like a brush pen. Like whenever I do a stroke, you can kind of feel the ink pooling into different parts of that stroke, so it feels more like a brush pen, especially this dark gray one. Like, can you see how much playfulness is there in that line? So if I would ever use a brush pen again, I would just pick up more colors of these Zig ones. And yes, they have some like funny sounds whenever I'm using them. Maybe it's because of this Muji paper. But look at this. These look way more interesting. There is some playfulness in the lines. And a quick pause. If you are new here and you are into stationery, journaling, or anything in this universe, please subscribe. I talk about this stuff a lot, and a whole video about what actually made the cut for the road trip is coming soon. And I had to make some hard choices. That's a spoiler. And before we get back into the big regrets, let's do a lightning round. Things I already sold or gifted away. The Esterbrook ST in Blue Nouveau with a fine nib. The ST's nib was just way too scratchy for me, and if I'm being really honest, I didn't even want that pen. I wanted the Coffee Master School collaboration. Again, Helen. She's influencing me so much. But I couldn't get that one because it sold out in seconds, so I just got a different one and I just didn't like it. The next is the Lamy Safari fountain pens. Guys, I genuinely don't understand the hype. It feels cheap, The nibs are a hit or miss, and I could just never connect with that pen. I know this is controversial, and I stand by my opinion. I also regret buying full bottles of fountain penning. This one is more like a general piece of advice. Don't buy full bottles unless you know you will love the ink and you will actually use it up, because your taste just changes. And right now I'm moving and I realized how many of my inks I don't actually use, so I have to sell them and I will lose a bunch of money and I have to find people who will actually buy them, so it's just a hassle. Buy samples, okay guys, buy samples. And finally, the Pentel and Le Pen brush pens. I got a bunch of them to test them out. I just didn't really use them, so I gifted them away. I have nothing against them. They are just nothing special, so I didn't want to save them. And it's time to get into my biggest fountain pen regret. Some of you will be really mad at this, because it is my pilot vanishing point. Helen from Coffee Masters Co., yes, she again, uses one every day in her journals, and I just really loved the form factor and she seemed to like it. And I also wanted to buy my first gold nib pen, because after reading the Reddit posts and just watching YouTube videos, I felt like I needed a gold nib pen, which is stupid. Like, I really had FOMO, and which is so dumb. Like, it doesn't matter, just use what you have. But one day I walked into Wonder Pens and I was determined that I will buy myself a pilot vanishing point. But they had limited stock then, so I had to go for what they had in stock. And instead of just waiting and listening to my gut, I got this one. This is the chromium with black. At least that's what I remember. And it's the medium nib. And I thought it will be okay, because my favorite fountain pen is the Kawaku Student in the medium. Like, I love medium nibs in general. But with this one, I'm not so sure. It has a really bouncy nib, but I actually don't really like my handwriting with this pen. I just feel like it makes it look worse. Like, if you saw my journals before, my handwriting is okay, but with this pen, it always feels kind of weird and scratchy. Even though this nib is so soft and bouncy, somehow it turns my handwriting into scratches. So the feeling is wonderful. I love the ergonomics. Like, I thought that this clip will get in the way whenever I'm writing, but it's not. It's so comfortable to use. But I just don't like the end result with my handwriting. And I also hate the converter. So I write a lot, I journal a lot, and I wanted an everyday pen that will keep up with me. Now, the thing with this converter is, whenever you just fill it normally, this is the only portion, this tiny, tiny part, where you will get the ink, which is not much, as you can see. So whenever I have to refill this pen, I have to get out a tool to get through this metal thing inside the converter, so I can push ink into the bottom part of the converter as well. And I am just tired of doing that. It takes a bunch of time, it takes an extra tool, I have to clean up more things, and I still have to refill this pen every 3 days if I'm actually using it, so this is just not worth it to me anymore. Maybe if it would be a fine nib, I would like it more, but at this point, I'm not sure if I want to keep this pen, even though I love it. I love to use it, I just don't like the end result and all of the hassle of refilling it. So I'm either going to put this into storage while we are traveling, or I'm going to sell it before we leave, and I can't decide. If you would be interested in this pen, again, this is the Pilot Vanishing Point in the medium gold nib with the chrome and black body. If you are interested, hit me up on Instagram, honestly. Let me know, like, give me a price, what you would pay for it, and most likely you can get it, because I'm not sure I want to bring it with me, honestly. Before filming this video, I was just unsure. Right now, I feel like I have to say goodbye to this pen. This makes no sense in my collection anymore. And now, my final regret. My paint regret. And I swear, this is not connected to Helen at all. This I did on my own. So this is the Himi gouache. I'm sure you guys have all seen the viral videos on TikTok and on Instagram because it looks really cute, honestly. I understand why it went viral. And I actually got it because everybody had such a strong opinion about these. You either love it or you hate it. And I wanted to see how I would think about it. So I got the 36 color set with the half pants. And this is how it looks. And you should really look at the colors and see how they look after 2 weeks after I purchased them. But let's start with the things I like. You can really just pop it open and start painting. You don't have to put gouache on a little tray or anything. You have all of your colors. You can still mix them if you want to. So it's just really easy to get this out and paint and create something. And of course, it's not professional grade gouache. This is something you would call a jelly gouache. So it's more transparent. It's more for like students and people just trying it out, or hobbyists. And I am a hobbyist, so I should enjoy this. But here are my problems. These half cup portions don't have that much paint in them. So you don't really get a lot of bang for your buck. Especially because with these jelly gouaches, you have to use a lot more than you would use with a normal gouache to make it opaque and like behave it as gouache should be. The other thing is it dries out just so fast. Like you can see that this lilac one is already crumbling at the top. Almost all of the colors have crumbles around the edges. And I didn't even have it open for a month. Also, some people had reported that their Himi gouache started to grow mold because this is wet and mold spores are everywhere. So essentially it just started to become this breeding ground for mold, which I am also not a fan of. Like thinking about that my paint will just start growing mold at any point, I'm not excited about that. And the last thing is that this whole set is actually really heavy. You don't get that much paint, but the whole like setup is really heavy, so you can't really travel with it. You can't really like bring it with you to different places because maybe even the colors will like pour over if they are fresh. They are not really portable because of the weight and also the type of paint they are. As much as I actually enjoyed playing with them, they just don't fit my type of creating. So because I got this from Amazon and it wasn't even a month and started to dry out, I am going to return this. I always try to gift away the things I order so they don't end up in a landfill or like, being conscious about my purchases. But this can be saved. And I understand that Himi has this spray that you can spray your gouache with, or you can even just use water, but Himi has this specific one. So you can spray your gouache and it will make it watery again and usable again, and you can just mix them up even. But again, why do I need an extra thing to use this? Because that specific Himi one also says that it's antibacterial, so your paints wouldn't grow mold. But why do I have to pay for an extra thing to keep my paints that I already paid for usable, especially if I also have to use it to prevent molding in my paint? I'm just not loving that concept. But I genuinely enjoyed painting with these. It's just so fun to pop it open and go at it. So if you have a dedicated workspace and you only paint in one spot and you are okay with spending $20 to $30 every couple of months for the convenience of having every color in one place, maybe you will love this. But honestly, if you spend that same money every 2 months on individual tubes of gouache, something like Shinhan or Winsor & Newton, you would build a collection that's actually better, more portable, and doesn't dry out on you. And honestly, that's the path I am on with gouache right now. And of course, prices vary a lot depending on where you live and what store you go to. So do whatever that works for you. But for me, the Himi set showed me what I actually need in an art supply, and this isn't it. This is much closer to what I would prefer and will actually use. Okay, so these are all of the things I would call my biggest stationery regrets. And now I want to know yours. Drop them in the comments, please, because genuinely I want to hear what purchases you regretted or would change your mind on, because I honestly think they are more useful and helpful than good reviews. And if you want to see what actually made the cut, my new minimalist travel stationery setup, please subscribe because I'm going to post that video next. See you in the next one!